Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news-making headlines today. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung is holding a summit with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi. The summit began with a welcoming ceremony this morning at Rashtrapati Bhavan. The two leaders will soon take part in an MOU exchange ceremony and address the press on the outcomes of their talks. Lee will then be hosted by Modi for lunch. Later in the day, President Lee will meet with business leaders from both countries by attending the Korea-India Business Forum. The president arrived in the Indian capital on Sunday for a 3-day state visit. In a post on Truth Social, President Donald Trump confirmed on Sunday that U.S. forces had seized a 900-foot vessel after it ignored warnings and attempted to breach the U.S. naval blockade. Tehran condemned the seizure, calling it armed piracy, and said it launched a retaliatory drone strike on a U.S. warship. In response to the continued U.S. blockade, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has closed the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz. Diplomatic efforts remain deadlocked. The U.S. delegation, including Vice President J.D. Vance, is heading to Islamabad for talks scheduled to begin Tuesday. However, Iranian officials insist they will not participate in formal negotiations while the U.S. naval blockade remains active. North Korea says it has successfully test-launched a short-range surface-to-surface ballistic missile equipped with a cluster-type warhead. According to the Korean Central News Agency on Monday, the regime carried out the test launch on April 19 to evaluate the power of the cluster bomb warhead and fragmentation mine warhead mounted on the upgraded tactical ballistic missile Hwasong-11 Ra. The regime leader Kim Jong-un expressed great satisfaction while inspecting the launch at the test site accompanied by his daughter Rhee. 5 Hwasong-11 Ra missiles fired from the Simpo area in Hamgyong-namdo province struck a target area near an island about 136 kilometers away, with a high-density 12.5 to 13-hectare area, equivalent in size to about 18 soccer fields. Bank of Korea Governor Rhee Chang-yong wrapped up his 4-year term on Monday. At his farewell ceremony, Lee described his tenure as a period of unexpected shocks that tested policymakers and pushed them beyond conventional limits. He highlighted his response to the inflation surge following the Russia-Ukraine war as a key achievement, noting the central bank delivered 2 big step rate hikes to lift the benchmark rate to 3.5% and bring down prices. As a final message, Lee pointed to the limits of monetary and fiscal policy. He stressed that deeper structural reforms are needed as policy measures alone are no longer sufficient to ensure economic stability and growth. In the U.S., a gunman in Shreveport, Louisiana has shot and killed 8 children. Police say the suspect opened fire across 3 separate residences just after 6 a.m. Sunday in a domestic disturbance. He then carjacked a vehicle and fled before police shot and killed him during the chase. The children killed were aged between 1 and 14 years old, and some of the children were related to the shooter. Shreveport City's mayor called it the worst tragedy the city has ever seen. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.